Do you know why people who run tech startups or venture capital-backed businesses find it really easy to spend money? Because it isn't their money. The easiest money to spend is someone else's. In this video, I'm going to share with you the Goldilocks approach to business success. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right. This hardly seems like prudent financial advice. So why are you watching this video? Well, despite the flippant nature of that comment, it is said with intent. If you look at the other set of business owners that are privately owned and privately run, it is their money, it is their debt, it is their security that has got the business to where it is today. They're naturally far more emotionally connected to the finances of the business, because if the business doesn't work out, they're losing their money, they're losing their house, they've got to pay off that debt. It isn't just investors' money that they are losing. Now, I'm not trying to say that people running tech-based businesses or venture capital-based businesses are just going to try to get rid of the money and lose the money, but there is something that people can learn from tech-based startups or venture-based startups where they're using other people's money primarily to grow their business, where they're actively encouraged to invest the money and aim for rocket ship type growth in their business. This can result in reckless spending, or it can result in rocket ship style growth for your business, or potentially both. This is where Goldilocks is here to save the day and help you set your path to growth. You don't want to be too fast and too reckless, too hot. You don't want to be too slow, not fast enough to take advantage of opportunities. You don't want to be too cold. You want to be just right. So what are the ingredients that go into being just right for your business? We've found for powerful growth in a privately owned business, it comes down to 3 ingredients, and you need to do them concurrently, which means you do them all at the same time. The first is people, the second is break even, and the third is cash. There are 2 factors behind people that leverage growth. The first relates to the owners or the senior management of the business. Quite often, senior management and owners get dragged into areas of the business that they really shouldn't be doing. They obviously do it because they care, but they shouldn't be doing it if they want to have rocket ship growth for their business. The reason being, the business owner or the leaders of the business can be focusing on where they want the business to go and looking at all the future opportunities of their business. The reality is, most business owners have a heap of ideas of where they want to take their business and where the industry is going, but they don't have the time to execute it. They get stuck into the minutiae and the day-to-day of their business. Therefore, the first thing we look at for people is what do we need to do to replace the owner's time with somebody else's time to do those tasks. It can also be looking at the processes involved of the business to get things off the owner's plate. The second element of people is getting more people. Aside from replacing the owners in core operational elements within the business, it is getting more people involved. A classic example we see is around salespeople. I know a number of businesses where they've got excellent processes, excellent systems, and they have a great ability to grow, but they slow down the speed at which they bring salespeople on for simple fear of, well, what if it doesn't work out? Even though they've brought 3 new salespeople on in the last 3 years, and each of them have done very well, the reality is if that was a venture-based business, they'd probably employ 10 salespeople straight away. I'm not suggesting you do 10 salespeople straight away because we're doing the Goldilocks mentality, we want to do it just right. But you might bring on 2 new salespeople straight away or 3 new salespeople straight away to propel that growth. Don't be afraid of investing in the right people if you believe you can set them up for success. This then leads us to the second factor in our growth, which is break even. My old favorite, and if you've watched any of our videos, I frequently talk about break even. If you understand what your break even is today, and if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that your break even target is below what your actual sales are at the moment. You'd be staggered when we ask businesses and you ask them what would be the investments you make for growth in this Goldilocks mentality, and they list off all the things that they would invest in and they feel like it's a big deal. After they make those investments in a hypothetical scenario, they are still selling more today than what their break-even sales would need to be with those investments in place. So to be clear, if we made all those investments, we invested in a new salesperson, a new property, and none of it worked, we just kept doing the same sales we're doing at the moment, your business would still be going forward, just not at the rate that it was previously. But do you think we'd let those investments go without getting a return from them? Of course not. We'd either reassess, we'd stop doing them, or we would be generating growth from them. Understand and learn your break even in the context of what it is today And what it would be after you make those investments, it's probably not as scary as what you think. That leads to the third and the final element of the just right Goldilocks mentality, which is cash. We mentioned earlier, in a privately run business, there's a greater financial and personal connection to the finances of the business because it's your debt, it's your cash, it's your house that's potentially on the line. However, running your own business is a great privilege, and it is also the greatest investment opportunity you'll probably ever have. If you don't run a business, you'll probably never get a chance, short of catching a crypto at the right time or finding a small company at the right time and investing and buying shares and it goes to the moon. But short of something like that happening, you're not going to get in a vehicle like owning your own business. So if you have resources, if you have cash available to you, reinvesting that back into the business is probably going to be an excellent value creator if you have the right plan in place for getting yourself a return. They're the three things for the Goldilocks approach to business growth. People, understanding your break even, and looking at your cash. As you can see from the Goldilocks principles, you don't need to spend money like it's not yours and like you don't care. But with a bit of thought and a planned process around it, and trusting your ability that's got you to where you are today as a business owner and a business leader, you can get rocket ship style growth for your business. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've got any burning questions in your business, feel free to let us know, and your business, without giving away the names, could be the subject for next week's video.